We read today in the Gospel of Matthew chapter 18 from verse 21 to 35 about the master who forgave his servant, and that same servant failed to forgive his fellow servants. Before we condemn the servant who failed to forgive his fellow servants, there is a lesson we have to learn from that servant whom the master forgave. And it's a lesson most of us have even failed to learn. It's a virtue he has in himself that would help us. He failed in one aspect and succeeded in one aspect, and that is the fact that this servant humbled himself before the master and begged for forgiveness. Some of us have delayed confession for so long a time. This servant gave a heartfelt, genuine, true confession, and he knelt. And the character of a good confession is true contrition, and contrition was demonstrated in that servant kneeling before the master and making a firm promise for amendment of damages as caused the Lord. And he was even saying, have patience, I will pay back, just give me time. He was eager to pay back what he has destroyed for the Lord. We destroy things for the Lord, not just for our neighbors. We destroy relationships, opportunities, talents, gifts, and time and resources we have in us, and we destroy them. These are offenses direct to God, and he was eager. Are you willing to tell the Lord you are sorry today, genuinely from your heart, not just for religious sake, but meaning it, being so truly sorry for the offenses you committed against the Lord? Sins are offenses against God and then our neighbors, and all sins definitely offend God and our neighbor. But do we realize it, that we offend the Lord in one way or the other? The rancor we bear in our hearts towards other people offend God too. Dear friends, go to confession. Some of you have not gone to confession for months, years, weeks, and you are relapsing in sin comfortably. This servant is a good example for us. He succeeded in one dimension and also failed in one dimension. Let us succeed at least in learning to tell the Lord from our hearts, oh Lord, look at me, have mercy on me. The sin of the servant was so grievous that he would have been sold out, including his wife and children and other property he had, and the Lord looked with pity upon him. The question would be, what type of sin did he commit that necessitated the Lord selling off everything he had? That sin must have been so grave and grievous. In the actual biblical reference about the 10,000 talents that he owns, if you translate it in dollars, it is $10 million. $10 million that he owes the Lord. Some of us are owing the Lord a lot. We owe the Lord our life. We owe the Lord our talents. We owe the Lord everything, every of our being. And some of us are so stingy to confess to the Lord how nothing we are before him. And the good part of it is that, dear friends, the Lord is so merciful and kind. He's full of mercy and compassion, and he's slow to anger. He's eager to accept you if you are willing to open up your hearts to him and tell him, oh Lord, I am sorry. I am eager to pay back for the bad use of my will. Will is a gift God has given to us, and some of us have wasted that will, and not just opportunities, but even gifts he has given to us. And we're willing to pay back the will we have wasted, the love you've wasted. Dear friends, the grievous sin of the servants must have been a sin that destroyed his generation entirely. Because in our time, there are sins we commit that affect us. We know necessarily that every sin we commit affects us directly, affects God, and affects the human society we live in. This sin must have been of a sin of embezzlement as a servant. And we look now to the situation of our country, Nigeria. The public servants, how mismanaging they are regarding our public funds. Will the Lord say the same thing about them too? The lesson we have to learn is to be accountable to the Lord every day of our lives.
All to thee, my blessed Savior.